gives Durant the best chance at a title? And news today from Shams that our idea of going to Minnesota, he's just straight up not interested in.
Well, he better get interested.
Well, he's not. It was a specific report saying, I'm not interested in this team.
He wanted to go to Phoenix. How'd that work out? He wanted to go to Brooklyn. How'd that work out?
Brooklyn. Didn't get a chance.
I mean, the injuries and Kyrie's views is off the court.
And finally, Rasheed Rice is ready for a return to the explosive offense.
I like that.
Of Kansas City. Last time we saw that.
Come on, man.
Been a while.
Enough.
Nick Sirianni is covered in game.
I like Joe.
Alongside Nick Wright, I'm Kevin Wilds. Brou, how was your Father's Day?
Outstanding.
Wonderful. How was your Father's Day? Great?
Mine was great. I spent it with Danny Perkins and his wonderful kids. My kids and his kids all together. It was wonderful.
Wow, cool.
How was yours?
A little chilly. We had a chilly picnic.
And ruined by Rafael Devers.
And then we left the chilly picnic and all heck broke loose.
Here's what I know, Brou. You know who's not on the trade block? Bobby Witt Jr. Tell you that much right now. Classic one, I win that argument. I win that argument. You are arguing Rafael Devers versus Bobby Witt.
Luka got traded.
Yeah, Bobby Witt's bigger star than all of them. Okay. I told you, the Royals aren't winning.
We're starting with the finals. Game 5 tonight. Game 4 was Friday. Indy had been plus 27 in the fourth of this series, but they were outscored by 14 in the final quarter of Game 4. Haliburton was solid, but not spectacular. I predicted spectacular.
You predicted 30.
You know what I got? Solid.
30.
Wilds was trying out this take of, why is Haliburton better than Derek White? Wilds is out on Haliburton.
Workshopping it.
Derek White.
He got some burn in the Olympics, didn't he? Here's Haliburton post-game.
Frustrating, of course. You know, you want to win that game. You know, especially a game at home where, like you said, you have the lead late. You know, but that's just not how the cookie crumbled. Myself personally, I could be a lot better for us as a group, and you know, we just got to get more stops down the stretch. You know, 17-point fourth quarter. You know, after the offensive success we had all game, I think is really, you know, shows we got to do a better job moving the ball, and I think that starts with me.
Okay, did Indy blow their chance, bro?
I don't like to talk about they choked or they blew it.
You love it?
Because that's, no. But that's the talk. They blew it. Here's how I look at it. It's similar to the Knicks, right, when they were in the series with Indiana. Everybody's saying, oh, obviously if they had gone up 3-1, they have control of the series, look like they're going to win it. But let's not forget, they won a game they shouldn't have won. They had no business winning game 1. They did. Now you lost the game that you rightly should have won, so it's evened out. So it's 2-2. So that's where I think this thing stands, and I think that's how Indiana and Pacers fans should look at it. Don't look at it like, oh, we blew it, we had a chance. I get it. You did get the game 1 that you shouldn't have, but this just kind of evens things out, and now it's 2-2. As far as blowing their chance to win the series, obviously OKC has the advantage. 2 of the 3 games at home. But Indiana has shown that they can win on the road. They are 7-3 in these playoffs on the road, same as their home record. And they've already proven, of course, they can beat Oklahoma City in Oklahoma City. They were 3-0 against Cleveland in Cleveland, and Cleveland had the second best record, a game behind OKC at home this regular season. So with that said,
wow.
You guys know I spoke at a church this weekend, and there's a story in the Bible about the prodigal son who left home to go out and frolic in the muck and the mire, and then he returns home. That's me! Indiana, forgive me. I repent for leaving you, abandoning you, and I am back, baby. Naptown! I am changing. Naptown! Naptown! I'm going with the Pacers now.
Okay, so this is a lot to digest.
It is.
First, we also got a glimpse of King Brou, which I really like.
Thank you, Miles. Thank you.
They lost.
This is exactly what I did.
Well, that's the only way. And first of all, look, I'm giving up, like, what's the
years.
term? Well,
upper hand.
Right, yeah, the upper hand on Nick. I could always throw it in his face. He switched picks right in the middle of the finals. I'm switching picks.
Yeah.
But
You're
I'm just
with your
going with my heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look,
okay.
I still think OKC has. I'm going with the Pacers. I'm going back and forth during the game. I'm pulling for my pick, which is OKC. You want to be right? But I'm pulling for my team, the Pacers, because I'm from there. And and so it's just too much.
But you
so
really believe the Pacers
I do
can
think they have
win.
a chance.
Yes.
I won't be shocked if OKC wins. I mean, obviously they have the upper hand, but I do think they're evenly matched.
Yeah.
I think after 4 games, and maybe it's just the matchup. We've seen that throughout these playoffs. Matchups or styles make fights. But I do think they have a great chance to win it.
Great.
And I got to say this. Knocked out! Oh, it feels good.
This is
where
fantastic.
It feels good
Again,
to
I
say
wish
it
it happened
100%.
2 weeks ago, but
Right.
overall,
This is where
this
we
has
should
been
Are
great.
you
been
now? Are you switching?
2 weeks ago.
Well, I want to see the first half of tonight. After the first half of tonight, if switching is on the board,
Yeah, I mean-
I'm open to it. The Thunder, they get some easy buckets and play great defense.
So the news obviously is Brou going back to where his heart was, and I respect that. and
Congratulations.
appreciate that.
Welcome back.
I feel like a weight is.
There is, narratively for the audience, it's a little awkward for me now to go back to the original question, but may I?
Sure, of course.
So I think, Brou, when we were playing the Haliburton sound, Brou thought I was scoffing at him saying the way the cookie crumbles because it was like such a kind of trite or charming,
Corny, some
way
might
to
say.
say something. Yeah. That's not why I had the look on my face. I did, but I was reacting to it. My reaction was maybe he's just a great actor, but he should be way more devastated than he was because I think they blew their chance at a championship. And I think everyone's focus I shouldn't say everyone. The game happened Friday. It's Monday, so it's not like there's been a ton of talk about it. But in the podcasts or commentary I've consumed, understandably, people are talking about either officiating or the final few minutes. I think the final few minutes of the third quarter is the moment the Pacers had the opportunity and they squandered it. They went up 10, and then they had 4 straight possessions where the Thunder had not scored. 4 possessions in a row, up 10, with the Thunder, in my opinion, in a little bit of disarray. And where they were didn't have their bearings and seemed shaky. And Shea, at that moment, was not having a great game. Shea wasn't like he was brutal, but he was. Yeah, I had said on Friday's show I thought Shea would have closer to 40 than to 30, and late in the third quarter that looked like it was dead off. Now he ended up exploding in the fourth, particularly late in the fourth. But up 10, few minutes left in the third. T.J. McConnell missed jumper on an ugly possession. Next possession, after they get a stop, Obi Toppin gets fouled. Misses both free throws. Next 2 possessions are both kind of ugly possessions where it's not just like guys missed, but it was back-to-back Siakam misses off not a lot of, Pacers-y possessions. The Thunder defense kind of regained itself for a moment. And all of a sudden, instead of going into the fourth quarter up 14, you're going into the fourth quarter up 7, which left the door open. And to me, that was the moment. And then Shea, the 3 he hit to cut it from 4 to 1 when they had only made 2 threes all game. In that moment, we talk about this a lot, like if you stop time, who would your pick have been? That whole game, obviously going into the game, I thought the Thunder were going to win. But midway through the second quarter, I was like, oh my God, the Pacers are about to go up 2-1 in the finals. I was checking,
3-1.
or 3-1 in the finals, pardon me. I was checking DraftKings to see, when will DraftKings finally believe in the Pacers? And the answer was never. The Thunder were the favorites to win the championship headed into the fourth quarter of this game. They were down 2-1 in the series, down 7, and it was when Shea hit that 3 that I was like, okay, I think the Thunder are going to complete the comeback. I agree with Brou, and I even wrote this down. This series being 2-2 is fair. It feels like there is a game Oklahoma City dominated, a game Indiana dominated. That's games 2 and 3, and then a game the wrong team won. That's games 1 and 4. But the series should be 2-2. My problem for Indiana is if you don't win the game, the Thunder hit 3 threes. If you don't win the game that you are leading for almost the entirety of, how are you going to find 2 more wins? So I do think, sadly, the Pacers blew their chance at a title.
So, Brou, you kind of referenced this graphic, so now that the Thunder have home court advantage. The Pacers are 7-3 at home, 7-3 on the road. The offensive rating is literally exactly 116.1. Three-point percentage is a little bit better on the road. Haliburton's field goal percentage, a little bit better on the road.
A lot better, yeah.
Yeah. That being said, I need more from Haliburton. I'm waiting for this 30-point game. We got 18. He was 1 for 7 from 3. It just feels like people trying to convince me like he's doing a lot out there that's not showing up. I'm like, granted, I would also like to see some stuff that is showing up. I'm a raw stats guy. You know what I like? 30 points. It's like not like 18 and some sneaky great plays.
I was talking because a lot of people were saying that, and I was talking with some people this weekend about it, and I said, look, and I get it, he can explode for that type of game, but I said it's like asking, like they were saying, I need 30 from him, 25 at least. That's like asking Steve Nash or John Stockton to go out there and get you 30 points. That's not their game. Now, he'll do it occasionally, but that is not what I measure a great Haliburton game by. And I get it. He was just pretty good.
Fine.
He didn't control it, but they were up. I mean, let's face it, they were leading and looked like they were going to win the game.
But that also might be one of the reasons why Steve Nash never came that close to winning a title. Like, Stockton's different because the guy
Nash
who wins,
did have guys. Both of them had a bona fide number one scorer.
And Stockton had one of the greatest, just reliable scorers ever. So you needed to ask it of him less, I suppose. But and this is a point I